Well, the House passed a tax bill earlier this year containing several provisions of relevance to farmers and ranchers. Roger McEowen with the Washburn School of Law joins us now for some of these highlights. Always a pleasure to have Roger here and break this down for us. So what we know, the IRS has been making significant efforts to eliminate abuses of the ERC. Where are the updates? What do we know about this right now?
Well, that's the employee retention credit, Suzanne, and good to be with you. And really, the House bill cracks down on these promoters that have been pushing the employee retention credit impermissibly. It's just been awful. You may have been hit with something on your phone or on your computer, or you got a telephone call. These promoters have been just blatant on this. And so the penalties have been ramped up against these promoters significantly. And I'll just leave it at that. And anybody that aids or abets them. So the Congress has really gone after the promoters.
Any revisions to the business interest?
Yeah, that's a big one there. For tax years before 2018, when the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act took effect, business interest was fully deductible. Well, they came in and put a limitation on that for tax years after 2017 and before 2022. Deductible interest was limited to business income plus 30% of the taxpayer's adjusted taxable income. Now, the way you computed adjustable taxable income was without regard to certain deductions. Well, what this bill does is specify that for years beginning after 2021 and before 2024, then we're going to compute adjusted taxable income by taking into account a bunch of deductions. So that 30% limit then becomes less. And so you can get greater business interest deductions. And that's kind of a big deal for ag businesses that do a lot of financing and run up a lot of interest. And I'm thinking primarily in the cattle feeding business. They are highly leveraged. So this is a big deal for that particular industry as well as others in the ag sector.
Roger, when we talk about bonus depreciation, what do producers need to know there as far as changes?
Well, this is a big one, perhaps broader application to people, because what the House bill does is restore 100% first-year bonus depreciation on a whole host of ag assets that we can claim bonus on. They haven't changed that rule, but they've restored that back to 100%. It was 80% last year. It's 60% this year, and so this would be on a retroactive basis back to the beginning of 2023, out through the end of 25, when it would then crash to zero if Congress does nothing.
So you see this bill passing in the Senate. Your thoughts there?
Yeah, the Senate tends to be where good things go to die. This is going to be tough. It's not on the Senate calendar. There's really no room for it on the Senate calendar, except they could squeeze it in, I suppose, with the funding bill that has to pass. That might be a good place to stick it. There's also an FAA bill that has to pass the Senate in March, and it does have a tax title to it, so they could conceivably attach it to that. So we shall see what happens. I think they do get this passed. I think they do get it passed prior to April 15. But of course, for farmers, many of them file by this Friday, so that's of no avail. And it really creates a lot of havoc for practitioners trying to prepare farm returns.
Absolutely. Things do not move fast up there on the Hill. Roger, thank you so much, as always, for breaking it down. Roger McEowen with the Washburn School of Law.